July 12th, 4:37 p.m. The sky's been bleeding since morning. Heavy rain pours down, cold and endless, turning the cemetery into a graveyard of reflections. Black umbrellas bloom like wilted flowers, and everyone moves in slow motion, faces blurred, voices drowned by thunder. The priest's words are somewhere in the distance, soft, hollow, meaningless. I'm not listening. I'm standing at the edge of a hole, staring at the coffin of the woman who called me son, trying to remember what that word ever meant. My hands tremble, but I can't tell if it's from grief or the fear that something about today feels wrong. The scent of wet soil burns my lungs. Every breath feels borrowed. Every second feels staged. People keep saying she's in a better place, like they rehearsed it, like the same line can stitch the kind of wound that never stops bleeding. I don't cry. I can't. There's a storm behind my eyes, but nothing falls. Maybe because deep down, I don't believe in endings, only reveals. And today, something is waiting to reveal itself. I can feel it in the air, heavy, electric, like the calm before an explosion. A flash of lightning slices through the sky. For a split second, I see her face, my mother's, smiling in memory. The same smile that held the whole world together when mine was falling apart. And now it's gone. Gone with her, buried beneath 6 feet of silence. I swallow hard, my jaw tightening, my throat thick with words I'll never say. I whisper her name, once, just to hear how it sounds in the rain. It echoes back like an accusation. Then, it happens. A hand on my shoulder, gentle, but heavy enough to freeze the blood in my veins. I turn, slowly. The world narrows to a single frame. The woman standing there is older, late 40s, maybe 50s. Drenched. No umbrella. Her hair plastered to her skin. Eyes sharp, locked on mine. Something in me flinches, like recognition trying to surface from somewhere deep and dangerous. She leans close, voice trembling between thunderclaps, and says, "She raised you, but I gave birth to you." The sound rips through the storm. Every drop of rain seems to stop midair. My heart slams against my ribs like it's trying to escape. I blink, but she's still there, still staring, like she just handed me the key to a door I never wanted to open. My chest tightens, my hands curl into fists, the ground tilts beneath my feet. I try to speak, but my voice is gone. All I can do is stare at her, at those eyes that carry something I've seen before. In the mirror, the cemetery fades, the voices blur, the world around me collapses into static. My mind starts flipping through memories like broken film flashes of childhood faces, moments that don't add up anymore. Her lullabies, the way she looked at me sometimes, like she was apologizing for something I didn't understand. The missing birth certificate, the stories that changed every year. Suddenly, they all start making sense in the worst possible way. I take a step back, but the mud pulls me down, like the earth itself doesn't want me to leave. The woman doesn't move. Her expression doesn't break. Just that one line still hanging in the air, echoing in every corner of my skull. She raised you, but I gave birth to you. It's not just a sentence. It's a detonation. My world splits open, and all I can hear is the sound of everything I've ever believed, cracking, splintering, dying. I look back at the coffin, and for the first time, I don't know who's lying there. My mother, my captor, my savior. The storm roars louder, but I can't feel the rain anymore. Just cold, just emptiness, just the taste of betrayal bleeding through my teeth. I want to scream, but the sound won't come out, because when the truth hits you this hard, it doesn't feel like awakening. It feels like execution. And in that silence, that unbearable stillness, I finally understand. Some moments don't arrive, they collide. They don't change your life, they end it. And whatever crawls out of the wreckage after isn't you anymore. It's something new, something raw, something dangerous. Truth doesn't whisper, it detonates. The words still ring inside my skull, echoing long after her lips have stopped moving. She raised you, but I gave birth to you. The world doesn't spin, it fractures. Sound drains out like water through cracks. All that's left is my heartbeat, loud and violent, slamming against my ribs like it's trying to claw its way out. Her face doesn't move. Calm, too calm. The kind of calm that doesn't belong in storms. The kind that comes from someone who's been waiting years to drop a single sentence that could kill a man without touching him. I stare at her, hoping she'll laugh, retract, something, but she doesn't. Her eyes stay locked on mine, steady as a verdict. The rain falls between us, each drop exploding like a countdown. The priest's voice is gone. The mourners blur into shadows. The funeral collapses into a distant hum. It's just me, her, and the truth burning the air between us. I try to speak, but my throat feels like it's filled with glass. Every breath I take cuts deeper. Every second stretches longer. Reality is bending, and I can feel it splintering beneath my skin. She takes a small step closer, and I flinch like she's carrying fire. I don't know why. Maybe because I can feel something in her presence, something heavy, something ancient, something that's mine. Her scent mixes with the rain-old perfume, faint smoke, and something I can't name. Something that feels like childhood, like memory, like a door I should have never opened. My pulse stutters. My mind starts reaching for logic, but logic is useless when truth walks in wearing a stranger's face. My knees feel weak. My hands shake. I want to scream, to demand answers, to run, but I can't move. It's like she's rewritten gravity, and I'm caught in her orbit. Every second with her feels like standing too close to an explosion that hasn't gone off yet. I glance around, desperate for something real. The tombstone, the mud, the people, but none of it feels solid anymore. It's like the world's been peeled back to reveal something uglier beneath, something that was always there, waiting. She leans in slightly, her voice barely audible, but it cuts through everything. I had to give you away. Just 6 words, but they slice me open. The wind stops. The rain pauses midair. The thunder holds its breath. I can't even feel my own weight anymore. My thoughts scatter like shattered glass. Give me away. To who? Why now? Why here? But the questions don't matter, because the answer is already bleeding through my veins. In that moment, I realize truth isn't revelation, it's destruction. It doesn't set you free, it ruins the cage and everything inside it. The woman in front of me doesn't look like a stranger anymore. She looks like the beginning of a story I was never told. The kind of story that doesn't end with peace. It ends with fire. And, as the rain begins again, harder this time, I know one thing for certain. Whatever life I had before this moment, just died with her whisper. Every stranger hides a version of you, and as I look at her, that truth crawls beneath my skin. The rain slides down her face, tracing lines that feel too familiar. Same jawline, same stubborn set of the mouth, same eyes sharp, tired, restless. My stomach twists. It's like staring at a reflection warped by time, a version of me that grew older, colder, quieter. My heart tries to deny it, but my blood already knows. Recognition isn't something you think, it's something you feel. Deep, bone-deep. She doesn't move. Neither do I, just 2 people standing in a storm, held hostage by a silence that feels alive. My mind races, desperate to stitch logic into the chaos. Who is she? Why now? Why here? Every question folds into another. I want to look away, but I can't. Her presence is magnetic, unbearable. I see pain carved into her face, years of it. The kind that doesn't fade, only hides behind polite smiles and long nights. There's guilt in her eyes too, heavy, old, familiar. The kind my mother used to carry when she thought I wasn't watching. Her hands shake slightly, but they tremble in sync with mine. Same rhythm, same fear. That connection hits harder than any truth could. It's not just resemblance, it's reflection. My breath catches as her lips part, like she wants to say more but can't. The silence between us stretches thin, fragile, dangerous. I can feel the edges of reality bending again, the way they do when something you thought was permanent starts to dissolve. I take a step closer, the mud clutching at my shoes, the rain slicing between us. Up close, her eyes aren't just familiar, they're haunting. There's a flicker inside them, a spark I've seen in mirrors on nights I couldn't sleep. Nights when I'd stare at my reflection, wondering where this face came from, why I never saw myself in the woman who raised me. Those thoughts I buried years ago, they're back now, clawing their way out, screaming that maybe I always knew. Maybe I just didn't want to. Her voice shakes when she finally speaks again. You have her smile, she says, almost to herself. But those eyes, they're mine. My chest tightens. The words hit like a blade wrapped in velvet. There's no anger in her tone, just ache, like she's been carrying this sentence for decades, waiting for the right grave to say it. I want to hate her for it, for choosing now of all times, but hate feels small compared to this. What I feel is something worse. Recognition that the human heart knows before the mind catches up. It's primitive, instinctive. It whispers the truth while logic still fights to rewrite it. And mine is screaming, now this woman is no stranger. She's a chapter that was ripped out of my story long before I learned to read it. Her face is the proof. And as I stand there, trembling under the weight of a storm and 1,000 unspoken years, one thought burns through the haze. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't meeting a stranger, it's realizing they've known you your entire life. Asterisk family isn't who shares your blood, it's who spills it for you. But standing there, soaked in rain and revelation, I can't tell which kind of family I ever had. The world starts cutting into flashes quick, broken pieces of memory bleeding through the present. My childhood replays like a damaged film reel. My mother's smile, warm and constant. Her voice humming in the kitchen, soft as the smell of morning tea. Her hands fixing my collar before school. But every frame feels different now. Every smile looks rehearsed. Every touch looks like a cover-up. It's not nostalgia anymore, it's evidence. I see her eyes again. The way they darted away when I asked about my birth certificate. The way she flinched when someone mentioned the hospital. The way her silence always arrived a second too early, like she was trying to outrun a memory that never stopped chasing her. Back then, I thought it was grief. Now, it feels like guilt. Every bedtime story, every I love you, starts sounding like an apology I didn't understand. My throat burns as I realize she wasn't protecting me from the world. She was protecting me from the truth. The rain outside blurs with the rain inside my head. I see myself as a boy against scraped knees, curious eyes, asking questions no one wanted to answer. Why don't I look like you, Mom? Her laughter was light, but her eyes flickered. You have your father's features, she'd say. Except there were no photos, no trace, no name, just shadows stitched into bedtime lies. I used to believe that meant mystery. Now I see it meant erasure. She erased the truth to build a new story and called it family. I want to be angry, but the anger won't stick. It keeps slipping into sadness, confusion, disbelief. How do you hate someone who built your world out of lies, but filled those lies with love? My mind rebels, but my heart fractures under the weight of it all. The woman I buried isn't just gone, she's been gone my whole life. Piece by piece, replaced by the version she wanted me to know. A version who smiled brighter than the truth could ever allow. Every memory replays with new eyes now. Her hand on my shoulder the day I failed my first exam. The way she said, "You'll always be my son." My son, not a son, not the son. My son. And now that word twists like a knife. Because maybe it wasn't just love, it was possession. A claim. A story rewritten to fit her need for redemption. And all the while, another woman watched from the shadows, silent, waiting for the day I'd find out I wasn't born into love, I was stolen by it. The truth doesn't just rewrite the past, it rewires it. Every memory feels counterfeit now, every hug branded with betrayal. And yet, even through the wreckage, part of me still misses her, still wants to believe in the illusion. Because when blood betrays you, the heart still remembers the warmth, even as the mind counts the scars. And that's the cruelest part, realizing the love that raised you was real, even if the story behind it, WASN single quotes, dedat asterisk, the dead don't stay silent. They just write, slower. She stands there, this woman who claims to be my beginning, with an envelope trembling between her fingers. Its edges are frayed, its paper stained by time, and something darker, maybe regret. She doesn't speak. She doesn't have to. The weight of that letter says more than her lips ever could. My chest tightens as she extends it toward me, and for a heartbeat, I can't move. I stare at it like it's alive, like it's waiting to bite. My hands hang useless at my sides, because whatever's inside that envelope, it's not just truth. It's the weapon she's about to hand me. Finally, I reach out. My fingertips brush against hers, and the contact jolts through me like static. She lets go, slow, deliberate. The letter feels heavier than it should. I can feel the years pressed into it, the kind of silence that only builds between the guilty and the grieving. My thumb hesitates over the seal. Part of me wants to rip it open. The other part wants to throw it into the mud and let it rot with everything else I thought I knew. But curiosity has teeth, and it's already sinking in. My breath shakes, my pulse stutters, and I tear the seal. Inside, yellowed paper, folded carefully, written in the familiar, fragile curve of my mother's handwriting. My vision blurs for a second, not from rain, but from something heavier pressing behind my eyes. I start reading, and with every line, my world caves in. She writes about a choice she made before I could speak, about debts owed, about a woman she once called a friend, one she envied, one she wronged, a night, a hospital, a signature that changed everything. I thought I could love you enough to erase it, she wrote, but love built on theft only multiplies the pain. My hands tremble harder. The ink smudges under the rain, but not fast enough to save me from the words. She admits it all: the secret adoption that wasn't legal, the lie she told the authorities, the papers she burned, The woman she hid me from. I knew she'd come one day, the letter says. When she does, listen. Don't hate her. Hate what I became trying to keep you. Each line hits like a confession whispered from the grave. My throat closes. My jaw locks. My heart feels like it's splitting open, slow and merciless. I want to scream. Why didn't you tell me? Why now? Why like this? But all that comes out is silence. By the time I reach the end, my vision's gone hazy. The last line is the one that breaks me. Forgive me for stealing your truth. I only wanted to keep your heart. The paper slips from my fingers. The rain catches it, smearing the words until they dissolve into nothing. I drop to my knees, watching the letter disintegrate like everything else she ever built. The woman my other mother just watches. No tears, no words, just that same unbearable calm. This wasn't closure. This was a wound disguised as revelation, the kind that doesn't bleed it. The truth doesn't set you free when it arrives too late. It buries you deeper. And as the letter dissolves into mud, I realize the dead never really stop talking. They just find quieter ways to haunt you. Love is never pure. It's possession with better lighting. The rain has stopped, but the storm hasn't. The cemetery is empty now, just mud, gravestones, and the echo of truths, too sharp to forget. I stand there facing her, the woman who claims to be the origin of my blood, while the ghost of the one who raised me lingers in the air between us. The world feels quieter, heavier, like the silence before a confession that can't be undone. My chest burns with questions I can't ask without breaking apart. She looks at me with eyes that beg for understanding, but all I see is theft dressed as sorrow. Her voice cracks as she starts to speak. I didn't leave you. I was forced to. The words drip out like confession and poison at once. They told me you were gone, that you didn't survive. Eyes study her face, every twitch, every tremor. She's shaking not from cold, but from memory. When I found out the truth, she had you. She named you. She disappeared. Her tone hardens, guilt turning to fire. She stole my life. The air splits, my jaw tightens, my pulse spikes, and for the first time, I see it clearly. Two mothers fighting wars in silence, each convinced she's the victim, each blinded by love. I can't breathe. My voice erupts before I can stop it. She stole your life. My words echo across the empty graveyard, harsh, raw. She gave me one. She bled for me, worked herself into ruin just to keep me alive. You show up now after decades and call that theft. My voice cracks halfway through, rage shaking itself into grief. She flinches, but doesn't look away. Her eyes glisten, her lips trembling like she's about to collapse beneath the weight of her own truth. You don't understand, she says softly. I didn't want to lose you. She wanted to own you. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The night presses in, heavy and electric. I feel my heartbeat in my teeth. Two stories, two versions of love, both drenched in sacrifice, both burning with guilt. I want to scream at her, to blame someone, to make the world make sense again, but there's no sense left. Only pain, only perspective. Maybe they were both right. Maybe they were both wrong. Maybe love itself is the crime. Her tears finally fall. I watched you grow up from afar, she whispers. Every birthday, every milestone I was there, hidden in crowds, watching what could have been mine. I feel my throat close up. A strange ache stirs inside me, something I don't want to name. Then why didn't you come back? I ask. My voice is barely a whisper, but it cuts like glass. She exhales shakily. Because she loved you enough to fight for you, and I was too broken to fight back. Her confession lands like thunder in slow motion. I feel something shift inside me, something I didn't want to admit. Rage and restraint tear through me, clawing for dominance. Part of me wants to hate her forever. Another part wants to forgive her just to stop hurting. The truth is, there are no villains here. Just two women devoured by love, one who took and one who lost. And me, standing in the ashes of both, realizing I was never born from peace. I was born from war and love. Love was just the weapon they both used to survive. Asterisk, the most dangerous reflection is the one that recognizes you. I come home soaked, mud clinging to my shoes, rain still dripping from my hair. The silence in the house feels different, Nathika, hostile. Every object carries a lie. The family photos on the walls stare back like witnesses to a crime I never knew I was part of. Her handwriting, still on the fridge, her scent still haunting the hallways. It's all familiar, but none of it feels like mine anymore. I walk past the living room where she used to sit, her laughter echoing faintly in my head. But now it sounds like something else, like a cover-up, like a lullaby meant to hide the sound of breaking truth. I reached the mirror in the hallway, the same one I've looked into 1,000 times. But tonight, it's different. Tonight, the reflection looks back with eyes that don't belong to me. I stare, searching for the face I used to know, the one shaped by her love and her lies. But all I see is them two mothers warring inside me, one in blood, one in memory. My jaw tightens, my chest feels hollow. I touch my face, but it feels foreign, like I'm borrowing skin that doesn't remember me anymore. The air buzzes with echoes, her voice, my mother's voice layered, colliding, blending into static. You'll always be my son. She raised you, but I gave birth to you. The words loop endlessly, overlapping until I can't tell which one came first. I lean closer, nose to glass. My breath fogs the mirror. For a moment, I think I see her, the woman from the funeral, behind the reflection, watching me through my own eyes. My pulse spikes. I blink, and she's gone. But the image stays burned into the glass. I whisper to myself, trying to ground the madness, but my voice sounds strange, like someone else is speaking through me. I don't know who I am anymore. A son, a thief, a lie. My reflection smiles, but I don't remember deciding to. It's a slow, broken smile. One that doesn't reach the eyes. Memories start bleeding through: the way my mother used to brush my hair, the way she said my name, soft and rehearsed, like she was trying to convince herself it belonged to me. I can hear her voice blending with the other woman's now, two ghosts, whispering through my ribs. You were meant for me. You were meant for me. The same sentence, different mouth. My knees feel weak. I grab the edge of the sink, knuckles white, breath uneven. The face in the mirror doesn't flinch. It studies me, curious, almost pitying. Then it hits me: the reflection isn't broken. I am. My life wasn't stolen. It was built on fault lines, and now the cracks are finally showing. My heart feels split between two stories, two mothers, two truths that can't coexist. I whisper into the glass, who am I? But the reflection doesn't answer. It just stares back, patient, knowing, because maybe it already knows what I don't want to admit, that the person I thought I was never existed at all. Secrets don't die. They evolve. It's 2:14 a.m., the kind of hour when truth crawls out of the walls. I tear through boxers like a man possessed: old photographs, crumpled letters, a watch that doesn't tick anymore. Every drawer opens like a confession. Dust rises like ghosts of moments that never belonged to me. The air feels thick, charged, like the house itself knows what I'm about to find. My hands are shaking, but I keep digging, because once the seed of doubt is planted, there's no going back. Not when your whole existence feels forged in someone else's handwriting. Then I see it. A small metal box, taped shut, hidden beneath an old quilt. It smells like time and secrets. I rip it open and there it is. A stack of papers, hospital files, birth records, adoption forms with dates that don't align, names crossed out, signatures rewritten. My breath catches in my throat. Every page feels heavier than the last. I trace the letters like they're carved in stone. The truth is right here. Black ink on yellowing paper, and yet it feels unreal, like the world is playing some cruel joke. My mother's name, the woman who raised me, listed as guardian. Not mother, not parent, just guardian. My pulse starts pounding like war drums. The room feels smaller, the walls closing in. I flip through the pages faster, the way addicts tear through evidence of their own downfall. There's a medical note, something about complications at birth. Another Phylon ID tag with a number I've never seen. My number, a life reduced to digits. Every lie I was raised on starts collapsing, one detail at a time. I feel sick, angry, betrayed, and yet I can't stop reading, because the more I uncover, the more I need to know what else was buried beneath the version of me they built. I find a letter folded tight, hidden between records, my name scrawled on it. Different handwriting this time, shaky, emotional. I had no choice, it says. They told me you were gone. My hand freezes, my eyes burn. Gone. To who? My chest tightens, and I can feel it, the fury morphing into something darker. It's not just betrayal anymore. It's theft. They didn't just steal a child, they stole a life, an identity, an entire truth, and rewrote it with ink and guilt. I slammed the folder shut, but the sound echoes too long, like the house itself is reacting. The shadows on the walls shift. For a split second, I swear I see her silhouette, the woman from the funeral, standing in the reflection of the window. Waiting. My mind races, heart pounding like it wants out of my chest. The truth isn't just paper anymore. It's alive, breathing, watching. and I realize something that chills me to the bone. I'm not uncovering secrets, I'm waking them up. Asterisk, you can't rewrite history, but you can burn it. The car ride feels endless, rain chewing the windshield, headlights slicing through fog like knives through memory. I drive to the edge of town where time forgot to move. The old nurse's home sits there, crooked against the night, its windows dim like eyes too tired to see anymore. The walls breathe decay, secrets, silence. I walk in, every step echoing with the weight of questions I'm not ready to hear answered. At the end of the hallway, I find her fragile, fading eyes sharp enough to cut through decades. She looks up before I speak. "I knew you'd come," she says. Her voice trembles, but not from aid, from guilt. I hand her the papers. I found the records, the lies dressed as truth. She looks at them like they're ghosts rising from a grave. Her hands shake as she flips through them, lips pressed tight. "You shouldn't have found these," she whispers. My heart slams against my ribs. "Tell me why," I demand. "Tell me who I am." Her eyes lift slowly, and for the first time, I see fear not of me, but of what she remembers. "You weren't supposed to exist," she says. My breath stops. "What do you mean?" Silence. Then she leans closer, voice a rasp. "Your birth wasn't an accident. It was an exchange." The room tilts, my vision tunnels. She continues, her words jagged and deliberate. "To families, one child, one desperate for an heir, the other desperate to disappear. Money, promises, a deal made in blood and signatures." I can feel my pulse hammering in my throat. My whole body feels electrified with disbelief. "You're lying," I whisper. "But it sounds weak even to me." She shakes her head. "Your mother, the one who raised you, she didn't steal you. She bought you." My world collapses. The ground feels unsteady, like reality itself wants to crumble under this truth. I stand there, frozen, every breath heavy with betrayal. Images flash: my childhood, my birthdays, her smile, her voice calling my name. All of it replays, now corrupted, redefined by that one word, bought. The nurse looks at me, tears glistening in her hollow eyes. "You were never supposed to know," she says. "It wasn't her fault. None of this was supposed to reach you." I feel my throat tighten, rage clawing up from somewhere deep. "Then why tell me now?" I ask. Her answer comes out like a confession, because she tried to stop it. She wanted to tell you. They silenced her before she could. The air goes still. Even the rain outside pauses, listening. "Silenced?" I whisper. She nods slowly, eyes darting toward the door, as if afraid someone might still be listening. "There are things you don't understand yet," she says. "Things bigger than any of us." I take a step back, my body trembling, my mind on fire. I came here for truth, but truth has teeth. It doesn't reveal it, and as I leave that rotting building behind, I realize something terrifying. I didn't visit the past. The past just reached out and grabbed me. Asterisk, every truth demands a sacrifice. I stand at her grave again, the same patch of earth where everything started. The rain hasn't stopped, it just falls slower now, like the sky itself is exhausted. The wind carries the smell of wet soil, of endings. My fingers dig into the cold stone, tracing her name, the name that raised me, the name that lied. My throat burns. My chest feels like it's collapsing from the inside out. I want to scream, but the words stick like glass in my throat. "Why?" That's all I can manage. One word, small and broken, swallowed by the wind. The silence that follows is louder than any answer I could bear. I close my eyes and see her face. The woman who tucked me in at night, who bandaged my knees, who taught me how to face the world without flinching. Every moment feels like a lie now, but part of me still wants to protect it, because without those lies, I wouldn't exist as me. My fists clench, my voice rises, raw, shaking. "Did you ever love me? Or was I just your prize?" The echo answers back with nothing but rain. My heartbeat drowns in the thunder. I can almost hear her voice, calm, warm, the one that made the monsters disappear. But tonight, she is the monster and the savior, both at once. I collapse to my knees, mud soaking through my clothes. My hands tremble as I press the letter from the real mother against the headstone. Two mothers, two truths, one lie that birthed them both. I can't tell which one to curse, which one to thank. My mind screams betrayal. My heart whispers love. I look at her name again and realize something cruel. Maybe she did love me, just not the way I wanted. Maybe the lie was the love. Maybe that was all she could give. Lightning cracks across the sky, and something in me breaks with it. I shout into the storm: anger, grief, confusion all, bleeding together. You could have told me. My voice shatters. You should have told me. The rain hides the tears, but not the rage. I look up at the sky, chest heaving, and for the first time, I don't know who I am angry at, the woman beneath my feet or the one who gave me life, because both of them carved me from the same wound. The letter in my hand feels heavier now. I could burn it, bury it, forget it ever existed. Or I could keep it, carry the truth like a scar I refuse to hide. I stare at the headstone one last time and whisper, I forgive you. The words taste like iron and ash, because forgiveness isn't Pesit's surrender. The storm howls louder, wrapping around me like a curse, and in that chaos, I finally understand, truth doesn't set you free. It chooses which part of you to destroy first. Asterisk identity isn't found, it's taken back. The storm has passed, but something still burns inside me, slow, steady, alive. I wake to a silence that feels earned, not empty. The house is still wrecked from the night I tore through it, but I don't see chaos anymore. I see clarity. Every shattered frame, every ripped memory, every exposed truth, they're not ruins. They're blueprints, proof that I survived the collapse. I start gleaning, piece by piece, not to restore what was, but to build what will be. The walls feel lighter now, like they've stopped lying, like they're finally breathing with me, not against me. I sit at my desk with both names in front of me, the one I was given, and the one I was stolen from. Two halves of a war that finally ends here. I cross them both out. The pen hovers. Then, slowly, deliberately, I write something new. My name, my creation, not hers, not theirs, mine. Every letter feels like a reclamation, a resurrection of self from the ashes of deception. For the first time, I'm not chasing the past. I'm defining the future. The mirror on the wall watches as I speak the name aloud. It echoes. It fits. The reflection doesn't flinch anymore. It nods, approves. I pack the files, the letters, the ghosts all of attend. Step outside. The morning light hits my face, and it doesn't sting this time. It feels like permission. I drive, not to escape, but to move forward. The road hums beneath me, endless, open. My hands grip the wheel with purpose. The fear is gone, replaced by something sharper. Power, control, a quiet, dangerous calm. Because once you've seen the truth and survived it, there's nothing left to fear. Not death, not lies, not the echo of who you used to be. Every scar now feels earned. Every betrayal, a lesson carved in bone. I don't run from the pain anymore. It's my proof of existence, my armor. I look at the world with new eyes, the kind that don't seek validation, the kind that see through everything. Because pain didn't break MIT branded me with awareness. And awareness, that's freedom disguised as fire. I whisper into the wind, you made me from lies. I'll rebuild myself from truth. And the air carries it far, like a promise written in flame. I can feel her presence, both of them somewhere in that silence, watching, maybe even proud. Doesn't matter. I'm not living for them anymore. I'm living beyond them, because identity isn't inherited, it's claimed. And tonight, I take mine back completely, relentlessly, without apology. Asterisk, some answers don't free you, they finish you. Weeks pass, and the world pretends to move on. The air feels cleaner. The sky looks lighter. I've rebuilt my rhythm work. Sleep, breathe, repeat. No ghosts, no whispers, just the quiet hum of survival. But peace, I've learned, isn't a reward. It's an intermission, and mine ends tonight. The doorbell rings, soft, deliberate, one tone that slices through the silence like a scalpel. My body freezes, instinct screaming before reason catches up. I open the door. She's standing there, older, composed, eyes sharp enough to dissect the truth itself. And behind that calm, I see it, the same storm I've just crawled out of. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The air between us is heavy, dense, alive. Her gaze moves over me, searching, measuring. Then she says it, quietly, coldly. You don't know the full story yet. My heart stutters. The words land like a bullet. My throat tightens. My pulse quickens. I want to slam the door, but something in her tone pins me where I stand. Her eyes, they carry the same familiarity I've learned to fear. I step back without realizing, as if my own body knows what's coming before my mind can catch it. She takes one step forward, into the light, and I see it. The scar beneath her jawline, the same one I have. The air disappears. The walls seem to shrink. My breath turns shallow. Every nerve in my body screams, but my voice is gone. She tilts her head, studying me like a forgotten photograph come to life. They told you half, she says softly, but the rest was buried deeper. The world starts spinning again, slow, surreal. My chest feels like it's caving in, every beat louder than the last. Who are you? I whisper. Her lips curve into a faint, knowing smile. The one they didn't want you to find. Thunder rumbles somewhere far away. A low growl rolling through the horizon. The wind picks up, rustling the papers on my table behind me. The files, the names, the lies, all of it threatens to scatter again. She looks past me, at the chaos inside the house, then back into my eyes. It's not over, she murmurs. It never was. Then she turns, fading into the dark, like she never existed. The door stays open. The rain begins again, and I just stand there half in shadow, half in light, frozen in the doorway between who I was and what I'm about to become. The silence hums with questions that no one should have to ask twice. My reflection in the window watches me, waiting. I whisper the words like an oath, low and final. They told me blood never lies. The wind answers with a whisper of its own. I exhale, eyes hardening. They were wrong.